Hello everybody, my name is Brent. This is the abandoned mining town of Cerro Gordo, and this month up here has been the most progress that this town has seen in the past 100 years. We started rebuilding a hotel. We explored mines that have been collapsed for 100 years. We got new wood. We found water and all sorts of things. All that and more coming to you in this video. All right, we're going in. Month 15 up here, and this month has got to be the busiest month I've ever had at Cerro Gordo. There was more people and activity and progress than there probably has in 100 years here. You know, this could be the month of collaboration, and obviously Mr. Dave Sparks and his crew are a huge part of that. If you didn't watch my last video, we finally started rebuilding the American Hotel. The concrete issue is solved, and there's a lot more updates about the hotel later on in this video. But above and beyond Dave's crew, there was just so many people from this channel, you know? Everyday people that are watching these videos just like you came up to lend their spare hands, and just this whole month had this energy, you know, where everybody was firing on all cylinders and we were getting so much done. And for me, it was like re-energizing, you know? A lot of times up here, it just feels like alone on an abandoned island. You know, I'm just out there by myself, puttering away at my different projects. And a lot of times that's great, you know, that's exactly what I need. But I think this month, more than any other month, just reminded me of that magic of collaboration, you know, of a dozen hands and a dozen minds thinking about a project, of kind of like collaboratively problem solving, and it just gets so much done that it just makes me excited for the months to come and to have even more people up here to come hang out and volunteer. You know, we try to have an amazing time. You know, we try to get a lot of work done, take some hikes, share a dinner every night. And the people that have come up this month are just some of the most interesting and unique and amazing people I've ever met. And so if you're out there and you'd love to volunteer up here at Cerro Gordo, I'm gonna put a link in the description below. Fill that out, come on up. No matter what your skill set, we'll find something to do. I am stoked on the collaboration now after this month, so I hope to do a lot more of it. And speaking of collaboration, other than the hotel, the biggest project that we all worked on this month was getting wood for the town. Specifically, taking down a building in the former mining town of Darwin and trying to get it back here. All right, let's talk lumber. Two things I know about lumber. One, I need a lot of lumber to do all these restoration projects that I'm doing around Cerro Gordo. You know, for a long time, I was able to scavenge, take wood from one former cabin site, bring it over to the other, and reuse and reuse and reuse. Unfortunately, that's starting to run out. You know, the wood piles are dwindling and the project list is growing. So I need lumber. The second thing I know about lumber, it is very, very, very expensive right now. I think lumber is up 300% in the last year or something like that. And so some of these projects aren't that urgent. They're urgent, yes, but at 300% aren't as urgent as, say, the American Hotel or something. But this month, I got some good news. There's a town called Darwin. Darwin is a former mining town that was active in a similar era to Cerro Gordo, so 1870s to about 1890. And a lot of the people that made Cerro Gordo were also active over there. You know, Lola Travis, who owned Lola's Palace of Pleasure here at Cerro Gordo, one of the brothels, also owned property over there. You know, Beaudry, the guy whose store I'm sitting in right now, also had an establishment over in Darwin. So Darwin and Cerro Gordo have been interconnected for nearly 150 years. And these days, the owner of Darwin is trying to actively mine again. There's a huge lithium deposit over there. So he's active revamping the mine to start pulling out the lithium. So all of these old miners' cabins that once used to house the miners 150 years ago aren't really needed by him anymore. He needs them gone. I need wood. So we made a trade. You know, this month he agreed to let me take down one of the former bunkhouses over in Darwin. So a day that I've been planning and hoping for a very long time is happening. We are on our way to Darwin to get an 1800s bunkhouse
from that mining town and bring it back to Cerro Gordo. And the timing couldn't be better because we're basically out of all available wood at Cerro Gordo, so we can continue our construction. So this is the building that we're taking. It's a big one, and we've kind of come to the decision that the outside stuff isn't really worth saving. It's mainly the wood underneath that roof that we're after. And so the plan right now, cut this big building in pieces and push it that way, or pull it that way I should say, topple it, and then get after whatever wood we can. We kind of have a small skeleton crew here to do that, but I'll give you a little walkthrough of what this building looks like. This inside is what we're working with. That's the wood that we were after. It's pretty much the best wood. This was originally at a different mine. They moved it here. Then it was used for housing for the miners. And now it will live on at Cerro Gordo as one of the other housing units. You know, they'd obviously taken out a lot of the good wood, the tongue and groove and stuff, but we're gonna get after the rest of it, starting with this door. Just about time. Got the roof cut, truck's getting set up. We're gonna pull about a third of this building straight over so we can get at that wood. That's the plan anyways. You never know with this. Got Johnny on the roof. Seems like a really safe place for him. And then now we get pulled down. Watch out, Johnny, no close.
Keep going. Admittedly, I have not taken down a large structure before, and so that's been an adventure. We're not there yet, but it's getting there. The plan was just to push the whole building over this way, but gotta make sure that this does not fall down. It's probably 150 years old or something. So preserving this, we'll probably cut it here, give it a little room, and then I'll have to be really careful around this. Do not mess it up. All right, we're down to the last of it. We got about 10 people coming in today, and this thing is coming down. How comfortable are you guys taking down an old building?
Very. So
great, fantastic. Yeah. That's what we're looking for.
It's like, that's what I've always wanted.
That's what you guys do every day?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Sweet. I have to say, I'm excited. I have a lot of lumber coming up, and it's gonna go to a lot of good use. I got 2x8s, 2x4s, 2x2s, plankings, all sorts of 2x12s, all sorts of stuff that'll go into rebuilding Cerro Gordo. And to me, there's just something a little bit more poetic or interesting about taking wood from another mining town and reusing it over here. You know, my mentality in all the buildings here is just reuse and readapt as much as possible. You know, I just don't love bringing new lumber up into Cerro Gordo. It just doesn't feel right, doesn't look right, doesn't even smell right in some ways. And so the fact that I could get this wood from Darwin has been a huge help. You know, it just wouldn't be a Ghost Town Living update without a little bit of water drama. Water and Cerro Gordo have a complicated relationship. One week it works, one week it doesn't, and most of the time, who knows what's going on? And if you've watched this channel before, you know that the only water in this entire town is 700 feet below where I'm sitting. And the only way to get there is to use this cage from 1865 that takes 45 minutes to lower you down in. And this month,
the trip down there was especially interesting is what I'll say. But first, what we were trying to do is diagnose why the pump keeps going out. Over the last few months, we've been playing a game of process of elimination. So there's some electrical stuff up here that we replaced. We replaced pipe, then we replaced the pump, and it still just wasn't working for more than 2 or 3 days straight. So this time, this month, our plan was to go down there, replace the pipe from the water source to the pump. It's about a 50-yard span, and there used to be 1-inch pipe there, and we wanted to reduce it down to 1/2-inch pecks to make any issue of the prime being lost solved. We figured this is the last thing that we could possibly think of that it could be, so let's go down there and do that. And thinking, let's go down there and do that, and going down there and doing that are two different things, because standing in the way is the 45-minute trip down on this.
All right, got the PEX. Heading back down to replace the line from the sump to the pump. Here with Craig as usual. And we are about, what, 86 feet down? 100 feet?
Almost 200 now.
Getting down there.
Suicide rats I told AJ about. Suicide mice.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there's one. Suicide mice. House.
It just makes me wonder how many are actually at the bottom of the pit. That's where I snuck in.
And actually the 200 is blocked off, so you won't be able to see anything really. That's the original level and it's blocked off for safety. Caved in.
Of course, like any trip down a mine shaft that's 150 years old, problems arose. And this month was probably the scariest time I've ever had in this cage. This cage that I'm sitting on is supported by a cable that slowly lowers you down into the mine. And the thing is, the earth has moved over time. So as this cage is going down, sometimes it hits tight spots where it starts shaking to try to get past, and then it free falls a little bit. And that's how you get past the tight spots. And in case of a big emergency, there are things above me called dog ears. So if this cage, if the cable were to snap and it were free falling, those things should detect that it's going too fast and clamp into these guide rails to prevent this from falling to the bottom of the shaft and everybody dying. This month, I was standing in the cage with Craig, great guy who helps us fix a lot of stuff. And slowly we're standing there, cage stops. We are under the assumption that the hoist operator had stopped it for some reason. You know, he has the decision to stop it at any time. If anything looks out of whack, the hoist gets stopped. So that's what I thought was happening. And suddenly, the cable that's supposed to be above this cage started going down past my eyes. And that's when I realized the only thing preventing this cage from falling 900 feet to the bottom was these ancient dog ears that had clamped into the wood. We got slack in the line. The cable is laying on top of us.
Right here is too tight. Track shifted again since the last time we were down.
So we're just dangling to the cable.
That's the last thing you want to see. You know, when you're dangling there in a cage that's 150 years old, it's terrifying. You know, and then you start thinking, like, do I jump out? Do I jump onto the ladder? Do I do this? Do I do that? And we have no communications. So if you want to take it a little step further to make it even more terrifying, there's no way to radio up and say, hey guys, what's going on? We use a series of flashlights, flashes up and down to relay what's going on. And in that moment, it's a strobe. It's a strobe means get me the out of here. And that's what we did.
It's getting.
They're pulling us up. It's getting taut.
And slowly you felt the tension go back on the cable. The dog ears disengaged from the wood. You could hear them, and the hoist went back up.
That.
Fail. So
Where are we?
we're right at the 400. We got stuck at the 400 again.
So anything happened? Just this is blowing out a little bit too much?
Yeah. Maybe you can see their videos, but it's real bad. Big old gap.
So we gotta do is saw some of this off, shave it.
Man. Need to drill down sockets and try and suck it back in.
So a short-lived trip. We made it to about the 400 and the cage got pinched in and the brakes turned on and cable got slack. So we're having them pull us out. Didn't even make it down to the water.
And so we didn't let that stop us. We're not gonna let some silly safety hazard prevent us from getting our water. And so the next time down, Craig decided that the reason that it got stuck was the guide rails here had pushed out in an area and was preventing the cage from passing. So we brought a sawzall, Craig brought his harness, and as we were going down, we stopped around the 500-foot level, so 400 feet of drop below the cage, and Craig harnessed himself off and proceeded to dangle outside of this cage in the middle of the mine shaft, one hand on the cage, one hand on a sawzall, and cut the cage free.
It's gonna fucking insane. That's okay.
I'm gonna need
Undo this?
yeah.
You know how it's tied? Oh look. Yeah.
I think I'm a pretty brave guy. I go through some different things. I test my limits a little bit. You would not catch me dangling below this cage with one hand trying to operate a power tool for anything. But Craig did it. Craig passed the cage through the tight spot. We went down into the mine. We got to the 700-foot level.
Home sweet home. All right, we're gonna take this PEX, run it back to the water source. All right, reprimed this new 1/2-inch PEX. Ducks are still hanging out. We'll see shortly. I'm gonna stay over here while Craig checks by the pump. Good old Roy. So you ever think, 100 years later, hundreds of thousands of people will be seeing his name on a platform that shows video. But hey, Roy, you're not forgotten. We're still here. Waiting on water, much probably like he was back in the day. Probably in a similar situation. Hoping for water. Fingers crossed. Well, good news. Apparently we have water back at the pump, so we're gonna go back over there. Hopefully it gets from the pump back up to the top. But hey, good news. Hear that? It's the sound of water getting back to Cerro Gordo. Let's hope. Now it's a hurry up and wait. We go back and we wait, see if it makes it to the top.
That's why we're getting those rocks too.
I'm excited to say, for what seems like the 7th time ever, Cerro Gordo is once again with running water. Woo! Look at that one it is. All right, first day of it running. And if you look, it's about 300 gallons. This tank will take 500. And so then from there, I'll transfer over to that one. It can take 2,500, but success, given that fact that a day in, water's still running, which it wasn't last time. So for me, big thumbs up. And now, before you say, Brent, you said that numerous times, the water has been running for 2 weeks now. So So that is a record for my time here. We've never had water that long, and it couldn't have come at a better time because we utilized that water to make the concrete for the American Hotel. And you figure every gallon of water is what, 8 pounds? So a couple thousand gallons saved us a huge amount of trips from Keeler up with water. And so this month, as far as little wins, or big wins really, the water was huge. This is something that we've been working on for so long. Fingers crossed that it lasts. You know, this isn't gonna be the permanent water source at Cerro Gordo. Obviously, as the town expands, I'm gonna need to find a more reliable solution. But for now, I'm pumped. You know, to go from no water to any water is a huge win. And I try to just celebrate all those wins kind of as I can. And in case you're wondering, hey Brent, why do you look like a mummy? It's because I took a nice little dirt bike spill last night. Cut myself up pretty good, but I'm fine. Head's fine. Just a little bit of hand problems. So anyways, that's that. So obviously the hotel was the update of the month. You know, construction has begun on the American Hotel. 80 yards of concrete was poured here on site. And my last video went all through that, but it's funny, after a week and reflecting a little bit more about the time, there's a lot more that went on that week than I think I showed in the video.
Okay, so I want to give an update on where we're at with the start of the hotel construction and all the things that have to go right this week to make this happen. So, today is a Monday. So today, what needs to happen is all of these trenches need to be dug in the correct depths.
Yeah, just clear it out, you get it?
Yeah, that rock. But sometimes that's how it goes. So we're gonna get this finished. Tomorrow the rebar goes in and see what happens. Just wrapping the next day of digging. As you can see, a lot is dug. A lot's gonna have to go right, to be honest, to finish this off in time. But tomorrow we should have all hands on deck.
So many people came together to make this happen that I'm so fortunate. Obviously you have Heavy D's team. Heavy D came with Diesel Dave and 8 other guys, and they brought 6 different pieces of machinery up here.
The man of the hour, Mr. Dave Sparks.
Made it.
First off, I gotta say thank you.
Hey, thanks
Seriously,
for having us, man.
bottom of my heart, you guys are changing Cerro Gordo's history.
That's our plan. We're happy to be a small part of it.
I gotta say, you guys make an entrance every time you come. Last time was a plane. This time you got. What do you even have
So
here?
this right now, you've only got half the convoy because we actually just did a little detour through Death Valley, the old GPS switcheroo on us, and added about 2 hours to the route. And our other semi is back there somewhere. So we've got a semi and a motorhome that are following us as well. But I'll show you what we've got right here. We've got basically, this is my Kenworth heavy haul truck. This right here is the golden ticket for Cerro Gordo. This right here is what's going to change the history of the town. This is an off-road mixer truck. It's a 6x6, well, 6-wheel drive. It's got 7 axles, big engine. It's literally designed for off-road cement pouring. So this guy right here is going to be the magic.
I'm gonna cut in. How are we getting that thing up here?
So that is going to drive its way up there. That thing
Who's driving?
I'm driving.
You're driving?
Yeah, baby, that's a one-seater. Well, anybody who wants to drive. I'm sure by the time we get to the 90th yard of concrete, everyone will have had a turn.
Yes, I get it. I get it.
So it's cool because it's got that big boom on it, and that can kind of reach the hard to reach places for the footings and foundation.
Yep.
And then we can just mix everything right in there. So 11 yards at a time. Pretty stout truck.
Yep.
I've got a lot of confidence in this. We did some work on it before we brought it out here. We had some cracks in the frame, fixed those, tuned it up. She's ready. And then we have a second vehicle, which is our support vehicle. It's my F550. It's got a trailer on it. We got a Bobcat skid loader with forks in a bucket. We got a couple generators. We got a bunch of Polaris machines, 2 4-wheelers and a Ranger. Those are going to help us with logistics. And then on the second semi that's coming, we've got 2 of the big 5-ton Army trucks. Those trucks are designed to haul cargo into like literally anywhere, any situation, anytime, and they're super like tough and reliable.
Yeah.
So those are going to help us get the bags of concrete up to the top of the hill, plus anything else we need to move, steel, all that kind of stuff.
So these are the guys that are responsible for getting all this big heavy stuff up here. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah. Where are you guys out of?
Yuba City, California.
Yeah.
H&S Heavy Haul.
Dang, this is some big stuff.
Yeah.
Have you ever taken it on a road like this?
No, first time. We'll see what
How are
we
you
can do
feeling?
for
Are you confident?
We'll see. Confidence can be, right?
Yeah. This is awesome. So this is your first time working with Dave?
Yeah, first time. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, he asked, I told him if you ever need any help, to reach out to me, and he did. So
Yeah. Here we are.
see what we can do for you guys today.
So it begins.
The trek up Cerro Gordo Road. Let's talk the logistical nightmare that is bringing concrete to Cerro Gordo. The logistical nightmare that I've been dealing with for the past, 8 months or so. Where to begin? So right now I am sitting in Cerro Gordo at 8,500 feet in elevation. The beginning of this road is at 3,000 feet in elevation. And in between these 2 points, there's a 7-mile dirt road that is not only steep, it has jagged rocks, and at some points it's extremely narrow, making it very difficult to get any type of big trucks or machinery up this mountain. You know, when I started looking around for concrete trucks to come up here, I had 3 or 4 different companies come up here, look at the road, and tell me, no way, we're not coming up, you know, too small for our trucks are gonna get too beat coming up there, our drivers aren't gonna be able to handle it, we're gonna have too many breakdowns and this and that.
I gotta say, this is the biggest vehicle I have ever seen coming into Cerro Gordo. That's a truck! All right, look at this. Progress early in the morning. We're out here. People are bending rebar, putting in the forms, rocking and rolling. It's pretty sweet. Some of you guys might recognize these guys.
Hey, what's going on?
What's going on? Might recognize that guy over there. Good morning.
What's happening, man?
Man, just watching progress. Dave, what do you think?
This is rad.
That's what I'm talking about.
A little work in the mornings, a little mine exploring in the afternoon.
Welcome to my everyday, you know?
It's the best. You
Living
live
the
in
dream.
paradise, my friend.
There's no running water though, remember that.
There's no water.
There's no water.
And if you know anything about concrete, concrete requires a lot of water. So this water has to be brought up as well. It has the same problems with the road that the concrete does.
All right, so turns out we unloaded the 8 bags with the loader. Hunter's down there with Bud. Now, before this tire gets flat again, I am going to move all this water and Johnny is gonna help get it into the other tank because no water, no concrete. All this is for naught. But if you listen here, we filled this 30 minutes ago. It's already pretty low, so there's a time limit here. Gotta get this water in that tank. I'm excited because I get to use all this new machinery that I never used, you know? I thought I was cool in my backhoe, but now look at this loader. This is a serious loader. Trying to lose the water, trying not to kill this Jeep that's in front of me. It's got AC in here. There's even like a backup cam. Technology these days, right? All right, the lessons continue. Dave taught me this, but you're gonna teach me this, hopefully.
No thanks.
This thing looks fun. Whoa!
Obviously, your basics. You got your gas,
Yep,
your brake,
got it.
okay? Your shifter,
Yep,
okay? So this doesn't have a park.
okay.
It only has reverse, neutral, drive, and then your gears. Obviously.
But it's automatic.
Yes,
Okay, good.
automatic. Take her for a ride.
All right, and we're driving.
The concrete that I'm using are what's called super bags. They're 3,000 pounds each, and you can pour 1 yard of concrete with each bag. The footings that I'm pouring right now require 80 yards of concrete. So that means I need 80 3,000 pound bags here at Cerro Gordo. So to do that, these bags get mixed in Corona, California. They get brought 16 at a time on a flatbed to Keeler, right at the bottom of the mountain where I have a staging area. There, of course, the company doesn't unload them. So we have to unload them with a skid steer, you know, take them off one by one, lower them down. Then you have 3,000 pound bags sitting 8 miles away from the town that need to be brought up here. So Dave brought 2 5-ton military trucks. And so what we've been doing is running up these bags 4 to 6 at a time. And 4 to 6 3,000-pound bags is a lot. You know, that's 12 to 16,000 pounds per load for these trucks. And we're not just talking a load or two, we're talking 20 different runs. You figure 4 bags per run, 80 bags, that's 20 runs. That's a lot of runs on these trucks. That's a lot of trips up and down this steep road where a lot of things can go wrong. And already we've had stuff like the trucks overheating, you know, tires blowing out, all sorts of other things.
I mean, it's got another 100,000 on it.
We're gonna patch it?
I think we can.
Shit.
We can.
Today's been one thing or the other, huh?
Right?
We made it.
Yeah, it blew like way down there. But I didn't have a choice but to make it.
It's just my eye.
Yeah, it's just my eye, dude.
Big deal, I got 2.
Okay, now we gotta get this one on.
When I first moved up here, it was just me. You know, I was here doing what I could when I could, making these videos, trudging around in the snow, having a great time. Then these videos started to get more popular, more people started reaching out. And now that the pandemic's easing and the weather's better, a huge amount of you have reached out to volunteer up here. And I have to say thank you all so much. Everybody that's reached out to volunteer, everybody that's come up to volunteer, it makes things go so much faster. And I would say this month, more than any other month, there's been a lot of volunteers here.
This is Carson, he's been helping out a lot on the hotel rebuild. What have we been up to?
Digging a lot of trenches, pulling out a lot of dirt, working some rebar, getting everything ready for concrete, basically. I mean, I've been wearing this shirt for 3 days straight.
It's a good shirt.
No shower for a week, so.
You feel like what I feel like.
Yeah, I'm here ready to see it happen, so.
Sweet.
I did some form work this morning with Richard.
Okay.
And then this afternoon, Cody made a road up here to bypass the electrical wires behind me. And I built a retaining wall to keep the mountain from coming down on the road.
You're a lot less fun when the camera's on.
Yeah, I know. Less flamboyant as well.
What you been up to for the last couple of days?
Digging trenches, putting up forms, putting up rebar, putting up all kinds of stuff.
You having fun?
Oh yeah,
Long days though?
Yeah.
You excited for
10 hours.
Monday?
Oh yeah.
We're pouring.
Pouring.
One
yeah.
way or the other. Tonight might be a late one.
It'll be.
So we're just trying to get everything, you know, prepped in advance for tomorrow, the big day. Cerro Gordo's first pool. The idea is to get those water cubes into that cement truck. So come tomorrow morning, there's no waiting around. As soon as we get the thumbs up, we start pouring. Because everything's ready. Only a certain amount of time to get this done. So we want to be pouring, you know, the moment we get the thumbs up from the inspector. How you feeling?
So we are getting ready to fill the concrete truck for the very first time. And starting off with a couple of cubes of water. These are what, 10 or 50 gallons a piece. So each load of concrete is going to be approximately 10 bags plus 500 gallons of water. So it's the night before, it's like the night before Christmas right now. I'm literally feeling like a little kid the night before Christmas. So basically the plan here is prep everything, get it all set. And like you said, tomorrow morning, as soon as we get the thumbs up from the inspector, I literally want to be pouring concrete over his thumb because we're ready.
I'm just being in here.
Good, good. We can take all the water we can get. Fritz, after seeing what we're working with, how are you feeling?
I feel great.
Yeah.
I think you guys got a
Good.
freaking great team. I think it's, I'm surprised it's as good as it is up on top of a mountain, you know?
Talk to me about.
But concrete, time, tide, and concrete waits for no man. So it's all about what we're gonna do today. You know, we can all look at it all we want right now, but
Once the concrete's here and the water's here, then you gotta mix it. So then you think, we have this mixing truck. So you have to get an excavator to lift up these 3,000 pound bags, bring them over, cut them, allow them to go into the truck, mix them in the right consistency, and then pour it in the right places before the stuff sets.
oh, is that great? paint stuff.
This is it. First pour.
Yep. Yeah, buddy. I'm here to learn.
This is it. The first run.
So, up or up, down, unlock it. And then when you see it start coming out, slow the drop. Yeah, you're doing like 5 things at once.
Okay, so first 10 yards is successfully in place. We're leveling it out to the bottom of the board, and I'm feeling better. You know, didn't know if the concrete truck was going to work, didn't know if we were going to pass inspection, so now it's just going to be a long day of pouring and leveling, which is a good thing.
You know, we all were just in this together, and we did it.
Just in time for the sunset.
So again, I just have to say thank you so much to Dave Sparks, Diesel Dave, his whole team, all of the volunteers from Cerro Gordo, the rebar company, the concrete guide, our architect, Matthew, thank you. Everybody came together to make this happen, including you guys, including everybody watching this channel. This channel is the reason that Dave and I connected originally. So a huge shout out to everybody watching this, and I can't wait to see what else comes. And if you are watching this, and you know anything about masonry, cinder block work, plumbing, if you are a plumber who has done a commercial restaurant before, I need to know about you. Please send me an email. My email is brent@cerrogordomines.com. And I'm just so excited to see this town and this hotel come back together from the help of YouTube. You know, it's almost like becoming the hotel that YouTube built. So all of you watching this are participating in the history of Cerro Gordo, and all of you that come out here are the same. So thank you all. And if you do have any type of skills, expertise, materials, supplies, anything that you think might be helpful in that, I am all ears. I recently cleared up the shop here at Cerro Gordo. So up at the hoist, there's a huge room now that needs to get full. So if you have any stuff in your garage that you might not need, screws, fasteners, wood, anything, let me know. Bring it on up. Come here. Email me with a date, and we will sort through it, and we're going to restock the tool shed here at Cerro Gordo. Thanks to all you guys. And as always, this month I found times just to sneak away, you know, go for rides totally by myself, just to clear my mind and think. And something I've been thinking about a lot in this 15th month is just that whenever you're on your own, you know, whether literally or figuratively, and you're chasing a dream, you surprise yourself with your ability to learn things that just seemed impossible before. You know, and these big dreams and lofty goals don't just have the power to change your life, they change you in the process. And that's what my time at Cerro Gordo has done for me. You know, it's changed me. I feel more confident in my abilities. I feel purpose in my days in a way I never had before. You know, a year ago, I didn't know how to operate heavy machinery, frame out a wall, ride a dirt bike, rappel down mine shafts, make videos, or dig footings for a commercial hotel. And I didn't feel this sense of purpose and drive that I feel every day here. And I think that's because the dream here is one that seems a bit impossible. You know, it's a goal just beyond me, connected to something larger. And to me, I see rebuilding Cerro Gordo as not just a personal goal or a goal for my family or even a goal for just the community. It's bigger than all that. You know, it's about the history and the future of this town. It's doing work that I hope lives far beyond my days, and it's something that is able to be enjoyed for generations to come. And there's this sense of purpose that comes from tapping into something larger. Some find that sense of purpose through religion or organizations or family trees, but however you can tap into that larger goal, everything just seems more manageable, more rewarding. Viktor Frankl once said, "He who has a why can bear any how," meaning if you have your driving reason behind whatever you're doing, and it's connected to something bigger than just your personal goals, you can withstand a lot of hows along the way. The bigger the goal, the more resilient you are. The bigger the boat, the harder to capsize. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to keep putting in these 16-hour days because I know next year, this time, it'll push me to be in a better place, with my abilities and myself. As I said, big goals have the power to change you, and I always try to keep that in mind.